kind of, I think, lends itself right into the recruiting updates, because now that Biff is back, obviously we want to know as a whole, as a program, where are we for 2025 and into the 26 class. And now we are just 2 days away from the Ty Haywood The Decision official announcement. There was apparently a typo where when they said originally that it would be the third today. Apparently that was a typo, and so now Wednesday official announcement for Haywood.
Yeah. So for Ty Haywood, I was reading Marmar's comments. My bad.
You're good.
Yeah. So all right, guys. So Ty Haywood will be officially committing on the 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Central time. Okay, there was some confusion on Twitter today. I saw some people, no, it's 8 o'clock. No, that's Central time. He's in Texas. It'll be 9 p.m. Eastern time. He will be committing. This is obviously the last prospect on the board, whether it be portal or recruiting for the 25 year. And let's just put it what it is. The reality is this is a 5-star tackle, even though the rankings kind of took a slight hit recently. This is a major addition. This is your bookend tackle opposite of Andrew Babaloa. You got your left side, you got your right side. And this is how you protect your greatest investment. That is Bryce Underwood. This kid is, damn it, John, I was actually going to have you play his huddle tape. But I meant to tell you that. I thought about it all day today, and I just thought about it. But yeah, I mean, so you'll see on his tape right here, we're talking about man amongst boys. We're talking about an individual who overpowers his outpowers there is some areas for improvement in terms of technique, leverage. And what I mean by leverage, outpowers his opponent. And you'll see this in the videos. But and he also plays with a very nasty streak as well. Now, the question you may be asking yourself, and we got a bunch of these, and look, I see how high he is, but he just totally overpowers them. Once he gets his leverage down, the dude's going to be a monster. All right. Once he gets his pad height down, he'll be a monster. But, the question everyone's asked themselves, and we see a bunch of you guys early in the show, what's going on with it is AM Dan Williams. It'll be 9 Eastern AM. And then, but the question over that, so what's going on? Where's he at with Michigan? Well, boys, we have told you for 2 weeks straight. I told you guys 2 weeks ago, if you remember. It was done. Like, it was done. The NIL was already agreed to. The only hurdle was was he going to take one last visit and visit another school, hear one last pitch? And that was last weekend. He did not. And I gave you guys another update last Tuesday, and I told you I'm as confident as I was the week prior. Boys, it's a lock. It's done. Cooked. It's game, dude. Ty Haywood will be coming to Michigan. He will be the other bookend tackle opposite Andrew Babaloa, protecting Bryce Underwood for the future and winning natties for Michigan. Let's fucking get it. By the way, this is a Queen Jolyn special, so anyone who wanted to knock the Queen, stop throwing rocks at the Queen. She sees that shit. I see that shit. Don't do that. And look, on some real shit, here's the reality too. When Queen Joe, and I'm like, this is the truth. When the Ellisons lock in on a guy, they're batting 1,000 right now. So there's some word of them already identifying some 26s. When I can confirm it fully on my end, I'll let you guys know who those are. But there's some speculation on that. But I will just say that it's just a good sign. Michigan's in a very healthy place. They're landing players like this. If you look at Michigan's recruiting class, currently it should be 3 5-stars, but it is 2 5-stars. Only 11 programs have a 5-star. Michigan has I believe it's the 5th. They're ranked 5th in 5-stars in the nation. Ty Haywood, just another addition. Nate Marshall's also a borderline 5-star. Michigan's just in a healthy spot. 2025 class is excellent. They should finish, at least when I last looked, I guess I got to look again, 6th in the nation. So shout out to Michigan. Sharon did a hell of a job for his first recruiting class, 6th in the nation. And he has landed difference maker at every level. Quarterback, offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, Nathan Watsu-Boateng, and the back end. Obviously, we see with Shamari Earls. We see with Kainoa Winston and guys like that. I mean, now wide receiver, Andrew Marsh. We can hear that, John. I want to mute that. Hold up. Yeah, but and then Andrew Marshall, wide receiver, running back. You have Jasper Parker. So the reality at the end of the day, it's a hell of a class. Coupled with a strong portal class, ranked 10th, I believe, by On3. Just an excellent job, John. Excellent job by Sharon and Co.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's excellent. We've been covering it for quite some time. Obviously, we've been mentioning it on the show, but I will say that I've been just very confident the last couple of weeks, as you have. It's just looking really good, and there is some talk that there might be a guard position, given that he's very he can go either way, tackle or guard, depending on the needs of the O line.
Correct. And with Andrew Sprague, right tackle, likely for the next 2 to 3 years, then yeah, I mean, you could see Haywood going in at right guard probably after his freshman year. And that's just, and that's kind of where we are. And that's, I'll tell you right now, Andrew Babaloa, Ty Haywood, Andrew Sprague, offensive line is one of the meanest, nastiest offensive lines, period. These dudes are, to quote Brad Holmes, dirt bags, bro. They're dirt bags. They're big, nasty maulers, and they're huge. These dudes are like 6'8", 6'6", like 330. I mean, Ty Haywood's got to get a little bit. He's at like 290 right now, I think. But like, regardless, point being is these dudes are gonna be monsters when they're ready to play. So, hell of a job by Michigan. Offensive line, Sharon Moore is going to continue that legacy of the offensive line.
Yeah, and we got so many obviously elite offensive linemen that we're looking at. And in a sec, we'll be talking about the number one player in the country for 2026, Jackson Cantwell. But it sounded like you had a last point before we did that.
Well, that's what I was going to get to is, like, speaking of offensive line, speaking of Sharon Moore sticking true to his identity, they're currently going after the number one player in the nation, Jackson Cantwell. And he just put out a top 6, I believe it was, John. Michigan's in that top 6. Not only is Michigan in that top 6, word is Michigan's running second behind Oregon right now. And Michigan had a very big impact on Jackson Cantwell in his visit in December. He loves Michigan. He loves the legacy of Michigan. And I'm going to be real with you. And this is going to be an NIL recruitment. And word is Michigan's coming to play. Now, listen, we also know Oregon is a heavy hitter. Heavy hitter.
Yep.
Like, if Phil Knight wakes up tomorrow and says, I'm not losing today, he can do that. This is one of those recruitments where I've heard some whispers that it could be an Ellison recruitment. I'm trying to confirm that. If I can confirm it, I will. And we'll go from there. But if it is an Ellison recruitment, I like our odds. I'll say that much. But I do find it interesting. And I also saw, I believe it was Malachi. If it wasn't Malachi, my bad. But somebody mentioned, well, why aren't the Ellisons putting money towards wide receiver? Well, how do you know they're not? Because in 2026, if you last week we kind of hit on, for sure, Michigan's looking for an elite talent. For sure, Michigan's looking to get a player of a high-end caliber wide receiver, and it appears NIL, they're willing to play ball. So we'll find out how that goes as this progresses in terms of the 26 year in terms of recruiting. But I have a feeling that Michigan's going to land a pretty top-end wide receiver this class. They appear to be targeting it. We'll see. We'll see where that takes us. But back to Jackson Cantwell. It's interesting to me that, they go after Andrew Babaloa, they go after Ty Haywood. Obviously, they put a lot of resources into that. Cantwell's not going to be cheap. We're talking about the number one player in the nation. This kid's going to command some serious dollars. I mean, think of what David Sanders got at Tennessee. I've heard speculation was about $3 million. So I don't know. We'll have to see if Michigan's willing to go all in there. We'll find out. But it's something we will pay attention to. Let's move on to the next player of our recruiting update, and that's Victor Singleton, who just committed to Illinois. This is the Toledo top 100 corner. Kind of put everyone on surprise because
Bert strikes again, huh?
Dude. So there's a strong belief that he was really liking Michigan. And there's also a strong belief that this kid will not end up at Illinois by the end of the that he will not end up at Illinois by the end of the cycle. And that may very well be. Is this a negotiation tactic? It might be. We'll find out. But at the end of the day, Michigan is not going to stop recruiting Victor Singleton. So Victor Singleton is a name we will be following. I do have a feeling we're going to have a lot of updates. Actually, I know this. I already know. I can confirm. They will not stop recruiting Victor Singleton. We'll see how that goes. This is the Toledo product. He's not obviously he's not sold to Ohio State. That was one of the concerns. His interest in Michigan is very real. We'll see where that goes. But I wanted to give you guys an update from our show last week that, you know, he has committed to Illinois, but this is not one of those recruitments where it's done. You know, we have 11 months to go toe-to-toe with Brett Bielema, and I think we will. So we'll see on that one. And then to kind of close out the recruiting update, John. So, boys, we are actually not even about to hit. As of today, we are officially in a recruiting dead period, meaning coaches cannot visit players. The only thing they can do, I think, is like discussions through text messages and stuff like that. The recruiting dead period does not end until March 3rd. And that is when recruiting is really going to pick up. You're going to see a lot more visits. Things are going to start to heat up. I anticipate Michigan landing commitments from March all the way, well, to the start of the school year, but it's really going to be that March to, I would say, June window, because July is also now a dead period as of this year. So just be on that. The recruiting news, if we have it, we'll bring it to you guys, but it may be a little slow in February. But we'll bring you guys the best coverage we possibly can. But wanted to give you an update where that stands. And, we'll see. I mean, I have seen commitments in February, but it's very rare.
So we will be continuing our coverage. Keep it at the Voice of College Football, no off season. So anytime there's something new, we'll be covering it, not just here, but on any of our channels for any team. And we keep growing. We keep getting new teams and new channels, and we're getting new co-hosts, and it's very exciting. So keep it here. One thing I do want to say is congratulations